Hi everybody, how is everybody doing? I hope that everybody is safe and healthy and happy and everybody is doing fine. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here and welcome to the first vlog of the summer. This is gonna be a very relaxed vlog, a very laid back vlog. I don't know why I feel the need to flag you guys and to point this out, because I don't think I have vlogs up on my channel that are so incredibly intense, but I just wanted to flag you guys that we will slow down in this vlog. I mean, in general, when it comes to my personal life, I am slowing down. I am definitely slowing down for the summer because unfortunately I am dealing with a massive burnout. I can only speak for myself, obviously, but I feel like that this is so true to so many other people out there. I'm sure that there are people watching this video and feel the exact same way, because collectively humanity right now is just going through so much. It doesn't matter who you are and where you are in the world and what it is that you do. There is just so much going on, and there is only so much that the human brain can handle. There is a reason why we live in a burnout society. And again, I can only speak for myself and about my own personal experiences, but I was so happy when 2024 ended, because I was ready to let the entire year go and just be part of the past where it belongs. The end of last year, I had to deal with a lot of different medical issues and medical conditions, and I was running from appointment to appointment, and I was paying medical and dental bills one after the other. And the end of the year, I had to sit down and think about my life a little bit. I am a very introspective person, and I think that you guys know me enough by now to know that I am definitely not afraid again to sit down and think about my life and call myself out sometimes. And there was no running from it. I realized the end of last year that I was burnt out, and unfortunately it is something that I definitely carried with me to 2025. I had been, or maybe I should say I have been running on fumes for a while in every possible way: physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, creatively. Is there anything else out there? I've been running on fumes for a while, and everything started to feel, and sometimes still feels, like some kind of performance. And when I say performance, I don't mean entertainment. I don't mean that I just sit here in front of a camera putting on a show, or I go to see my family and friends, or I go to work and I put on a show. That's not what I mean. When I talk about performance, I mean that I, for some reason, come up with this invisible standard for myself, and I was trying to live my life according to that standard, and I don't know exactly whom I was trying to impress. I am a perfectionist and I am a completionist, and there were so many times in my life when these traits served me. But it can so easily happen that these become curses in my life, and that is exactly what's been happening for a while, because I am definitely producing and achieving, and I have a lot of accomplishments. But what's the point in all of this, whether that comes to your professional or your personal life, like achieving all these goals, if you are completely disconnected from your life, if you are completely disconnected from joy? I was living in my head, or maybe I should say I am still living in my head, and this is not the first time I feel this way, and this is certainly not the last time I feel this way, because we live in a burnout society. Everybody is so stressed and anxious. Everybody is exhausted physically and emotionally, and we are becoming more and more cynical, because all we usually think about is how to produce more, how to work harder, how to achieve more. And the sad thing is that when we are free to do whatever we want, when we are free because we take some time off and we decide to spend it with friends and family, or just to travel, to do our hobbies, we only do this, we only have fun to recharge. So when we go back to work, we can start achieving and producing and create more. So I decided that it is time to interrupt the cycle and to call a time out. And it is time for me to learn how to be idle. And when I say idle, I don't mean lazy, because sometimes I feel that people can misunderstand the meaning of idle. But if we go back to ancient times, to the ancient philosophers, idle basically just meant being still, because when you are still, that is when you can truly observe the world around you, the people around you. You can sit down and contemplate whatever it is that you want to contemplate. It is about doing things because they matter and because they bring you joy, and not necessarily because they are productive. And that is something that's so hard to do. And again, especially here in the United States, where everything is always about productivity, whether that's your professional life or personal life, you just feel this inner drive to be productive all the time. So I ask myself, what if for a while, just for a while, I did things just because they give me joy and just because they light me up from the inside out, and not just for a second. Like when I speak of joy, I'm not talking about like, buying something for yourself and then be happy and feel joy for like 5 seconds. I'm talking about like the real joy, like, the slow burning, soul feeding kind of joy that only comes with time. And I know, of course, that a couple of days, a weekend, a week, a season is not going to change magically like years of burnout. That's just simply not how it works. But I am starting the process, and I just hope that this video will inspire you maybe to do the same, or will just remind you, because this is something that has been going on in your mind for a while, and this will just remind you every now and then, take some time off and find some joy in your life, and have some patience with yourself and compassion for yourself, because again, just like I said, collectively we are going through so much, and while we definitely need to be a lot more kinder to other people, we also need to be kind with ourselves. So what are we going to do in today's video? We will do a lot of activities that create joy in my life, and I will also give myself a little bit of space, again, just to be still and just to be in general a little bit more laid back and more relaxed, because that's something that I desperately need. You guys know that when it comes to the activities that I enjoy, I really like to be in nature, and in general I feel that when I am stressed out, and again I feel like that it's true for a lot of people out there, but when you are feeling stressed and anxious and burnt out, we need to spend time in nature. And luckily I love to walk and I love to go on hikes, and that is something that we will do. I decided that I'm going to create a completely new workout routine and get back to working out. It is something that is very helpful to me, especially when I'm anxious. I usually start my mornings with workouts, but in the past 6 months it was just simply impossible for me because physically I couldn't handle it. But I am, just like I said, creating a new workout routine, and I am getting back to workout. I'm also gonna run a couple of art projects. Lately I've been really into diamond painting. That is my newest thing to do. And we will certainly do a lot of bookish things in today's video, because books and reading in general, it just gives me so much joy, and I feel like that reading and this channel has kept me sane in the past 2 years. So we will go and buy books and read books with no goal of finishing them. We will go and check out a couple of bookstores in Boston that I've never checked out, I've never been to those bookstores. Ugh, oh my god, I cannot feel my legs anymore. Pizza noodles, pizza noodles. This is basically the sign for me to stop with this little TED talk of mine and just get on with the vlog. I don't know what's wrong with me. You guys know me. I love to chat, I love to talk. I don't know why. Maybe I am just in love with my own voice. I don't know. I better go and contemplate on it. Anyways, you guys just sit back, lay back, relax, and enjoy the vlog. Wait, let me do it this way, and let me just move a little bit in the shade so it's better for both of us. We are in the Harvard Arboretum, and there are two reasons for that. One, because I adore this place and this is a beautiful Sunday and I just wanted to come here to enjoy the outsides a little bit. And two, because I've come to Jamaica Plain to visit a bookstore, Paper Cuts, a bookstore that I've never been to. I don't know how long I've been living in Boston and I've never visited this bookstore. Now you guys know that Boston is a super bookish city. And also you guys, I'm sorry, like I am wearing my Invisalign trays and because of that, like it's a little bit harder for me to speak, so I have no idea how it's actually going to come across camera, but I'm trying. Okay, I'm trying. Anyways, so you guys know that Boston is an incredibly bookish city and we have so many bookstores, so many independent bookstores, like literally at every corner, and it's impossible like to live in Boston and discover every single one of them. But I decided to put in some effort and go to outside of my comfort zone, outside of the public transport zone, and try to discover, like, you know, smaller indie bookstores, and Paper Cuts is definitely one of them, at least based on what I was able to gather on the internet. It looks super cute, but it's closed. Currently it's like 9:30, around 9:30, and it opens at 11. So I have a little bit of time to kill, but that's fine. I will just wander around and I will show you guys the Arboretum itself. In May, they usually have Lilac Sunday, which is just so incredibly beautiful because that's when lilac is blooming, and lilac is one of my favorite flowers. So usually I come here to check it out. I couldn't do it this May. I will look and we'll see if the lilac is still around. I don't think so because it's June and it's like way too hot, but I'll try. I'll look for it, and if I find it, I'll show you guys. But anyways, the next 1.5 hours I will just probably spend it here, you know, just enjoying the outside. And when the bookstore opens, then we're just gonna go there and I'll show you the bookstore. I'm actually super excited. That's how I know how big of a nerd you are, when just like simply discovering a new bookstore is like making you so excited. As far as books go, I don't really want to buy anything. I'm not like super interested in anything right now. We'll look around. I know that there have been a couple of new June releases. Maybe they will have them. And I know that the new Taylor Jenkins Reid book, Atmosphere, is about to come out, and probably it's like already published. So I will, like, you know, try to look at that, but we'll see. I don't really have any plans. I don't really want to buy anything because I don't need it, and I am not like super interested in anything. But we'll look around and then we'll decide. So I'll see you guys at the bookstore.
Day breaks and I'm burned by the morning light. I make the same mistake
you guys. I adore them. See a lot of squirrels, but very rarely chipmunks. But look at this one. They are usually so afraid of humans, so that's why I'm like keeping my distance. But oh my god, so cute. Well, I don't want to disturb them.
I know I got a lot to prove. They think we're too damaged to fix, but we're just working through a little rust. They like to say we're just young, but I know we won't give this up. Sometimes I lose my mind, and some days stay by my side. You and I break.
It's a really cute bookstore, you guys. It's very small. It's really cute. It's really cute, and honestly, the stock and the selection of books, it's really impressive considering how small this bookstore is. I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
It's you and I. We go back and forth every time, waiting for one of us to cross the line. You got me and I got you, and we got a lot to prove. They think we're too damaged to fix, but we're just working through a little rust. They like to say we're just young, but I know we won't give this up. Sometimes I lose my mind, and some days it's hard to find the reason why you stay by my side. You and I.
Stay hydrated, you guys. Stay hydrated. Right now, it's like so insanely hot outside. But anyways, it's not about the temperature. It's about the book that I wanted to show you guys, because this is the book I bought in this cute little bookshop. I didn't go in there again with any plans in mind. I didn't really want to buy anything, but then I really wanted to support this little bookstore. So I decided to get the newest Taylor Jenkins release, Atmosphere, and this book is so beautiful. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, when I looked at the cover online, I was like, I'm not sure that I like it, but in real life, this is a beautiful book, a beautiful cover. And also on the inside, when you open it up, it's like that. It's a very pretty book. And I also read the author's note in the bookshop and half of the first chapter, and I was like, I want to read this book. I want to read this book right now. It's very expensive. New release hardback, $30. It's insane. But it's like, you know what? Again, let's just support this little bookstore. And also, they gave me this thing, which I guess is like bookmark or something like that, and I didn't know, but now I know, because it says that it's your local woman-owned independent bookshop, and there is the address there, just in case anybody watching this video wants to check that bookstore out. I think it was really cute, small but cute. Anyways, so I'm happy that I supported them, and I'm happy I supported them with a book that now I kind of want to read immediately. So I think, you guys, we selected the book for today's vlog. So this is one thing that I got. So isn't it beautiful? Can you just, like, guys, check out the sunglasses on the cover? Can you see the art? Can you see, like, the spaceship? Oh, this is gonna be so cool. And I also cannot wait to tell my mom. At the time, she was very obsessed with the Challenger space mission. So I'm just gonna let her know that I'm reading a book like that, and then I can tell her everything I want to tell her about this book. But that's the book. And also, while I was there, I went into Walgreens, because I don't have Walgreens around me. CVS, yes, at every given corner there is a CVS, but never Walgreens. And I wanted to check it out, and I'm so happy that I went in, because I found one of my holy grail mascara, which is the Milani tubing mascara. In CVS, they don't have Milani, at least like not around me, right? So I always have to order it online. And I walked inside and they had it, and this was the last one, and I was like, I'm gonna get it. I really love this mascara. I can highly recommend it to you guys. I also have like an other tubing mascara, the e.l.f. tubing mascara, that is so insanely good, but that's also like out of stock all the time. These are the two that I use interchangeably, and I really like it. So if you guys can put your hands or get your hands on this one or the e.l.f., if you use mascara, of course, I highly recommend the tubing mascaras. They are amazing. And also, and I cannot believe I found this, because this has been out of stock online, even on Amazon, for such a long time. This is a color, a pink nail polish that I wanted for such a long time. This is part of the Essie at home gel system. It's like a no UV gel system. It's just like dries on air. And this is the first, like, you know, nail polish, and then they have a top coat that I already have, because obviously you only have to purchase it once. And this is the pink, because they have so many different pinks, and this is the pink, peony pink, that I actually wanted, and they had it, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna grab it. So there you go. I love Walgreens. I just don't have any Walgreens basically around me. Anyways, next, moving on, I want to talk about books, surprisingly, because it's like a book channel, so that's what we do here. But Audible is having a major sale. Now, obviously by the time this video goes up, the sale will be over, because I think like we have maybe like 5 days left on this sale, and I did put it on my community tab. So if you guys don't follow my community tab, you should, because sometimes I make announcements there. And it's such a huge sale, you guys. 50 to 80% off. I just want to mention a couple of books that I bought, and you guys will not believe the price. And I'm just gonna bring it to your attention that Atmosphere, again, this is like 30 bucks, the hardcover. Right now on Audible, and one of the narrators, Julia Whelan, it's like $9.89. A completely new audiobook. That is insane. But I also got a couple of other audiobooks. I got Empire of Shadows, and I just want to recommend these books to you guys. This is like historical romance and fantasy book that was inspired by The Mummy. You know the movie? That's like one of my all-time favorite movies. I love that movie. So you have me. This is like a series, and this is the first book. I also got A Harvest of Hearts, because I have the physical copy, but I wanted the audiobook, and the audiobook was like $2.89. Are you kidding me? I also got another historical romance, Blackmore by Julian Donaldson, because I loved her other book, Aidan Brooke. So I decided to get Blackmore as well, and it was like $5.55. Again, are you kidding me? I also got 2 books by Adrian Tchaikovsky. One of them is Walking to Aldebaran, and this was like, again, $1.89. Again, crazy. And I also got his newest release, which is Shroud, and that book was $6.29. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, new release audiobooks are now like so cheap. I mean, like, you know exactly what I mean. And then what else did I get? I also got some other audiobook. Oh yeah, I also got Wonderful by Jill Barnett. This is again a historical romance, and I cannot find a physical copy for this one, so the audiobook will be super useful. And this is a historical romance that takes place in medieval times, and I never read a historical romance that takes place in like the 1200s or around that time period with King Edward and stuff. So I'm like, I'm gonna get this. And what else? I also got something else, but why isn't it not on my list? Maybe because I haven't downloaded it yet. I'm pretty sure I bought something else. Where is it? Oh yeah. I'm silly. I haven't downloaded them on my phone yet, but I got 2 romantasy books because I am running a massive romantasy vlog, you guys. I mean, that is easily one of the biggest projects that I am running on my channel, and I am just like, oh, so much work, but I hope that you guys will enjoy it once I actually release it. And I got again 2 romantasy books. One of them is Viciously Yours by Jamie Applegate Hunter, and then the other one is Entreat Me, and that is by Grace Draven. And I have the physical copies here, but again, the audiobooks were like $2. And I was like, are you kidding me? Especially if Entreat Me works for me, because this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and you guys know exactly how I like feel about Beauty and the Beast. So if I can get that audiobook in my library, I am here for it. I am here for it. That's all. Wow. Like, I genuinely did not plan to buy this many books. But when you get books on a deal, or when you can get books on a deal, I just cannot resist it. Well, I cannot wait to get to reading this book. The hype is real. The expectations are definitely there. Taylor Jenkins Reid usually doesn't let me down. I haven't read everything by her, but I've read a lot of books from her, especially like that Hollywood series or whatever, and I really want to know what she does with space discovery and like specifically with this NASA space shuttle program, and it takes place in the 80s, so it's like semi-historical, I guess. I mean, it was only like 45 years ago, so you know. But anyways, enough of the chit chat. I cannot wait to get to reading this book. And I also want to show you guys something that I found in a little free library. So for now, I'm just going to put those books aside and I'll show you these books that I got again from a little free library. And I cannot even believe that I was so lucky to find these Shakespeare plays basically in a little free library, because like somebody put an entire box in the little free library and I only took like, you know, only took a couple of them that I haven't read yet, and I am just, you know, genuinely interested in these ones. And I got them for two reasons. One, because I really like the covers. I mean, especially for like this one. Are you kidding me? These covers are so nice. But also, I feel like that it's so hard these days, especially when it comes to like these Shakespeare books or plays, to find ones that only have the plays themselves, because these days when they publish these books, they always publish them with like these forewords and afterwards, which is fine. But like, you know, when they put the analysis in the book and then they explain everything to you about Shakespeare and about the history, and they tell you exactly how you are supposed to feel and think about his plays and like, you know, the social commentary at the time, etc. And I don't really enjoy that, because like if I want to know that, I can just look it up on the internet, and otherwise, you know, just let me to make up my own mind about like, you know, what I think and how I feel and whatnot. I don't study literature, so you know, you don't need to educate me about these things. I kind of like don't like when people, publishers, whatever, they try to push down a narrative on my throat. And these ones, look at that cover, that looks so good. And these ones don't have that. It's just the play itself, and that's something that like I enjoy. And I'm so happy that I found these. Oh my god, like sometimes it's just like such like a treasure hunt, these little free libraries, and I'm so happy that sometimes I like find these gems, you know. And these are old ones. I mean, look at those pages, these are old ones. And again, can we just like look at the font size again? In my age, this font size, this is what I need. Okay, so anyways, I just wanted to show you guys this little free library gems. This is beautiful Sunday afternoon, you guys. Oh, the sun is blinding me. And I decided to spend the entire afternoon outside. So I got a boba. It's a little bit tricky to drink this with my Invisaligns in, but anyways, I will conquer this boba. And I'm also on my way to a rose garden, because roses are in bloom, peonies are in bloom, and I know that they got benches and stuff in this rose garden. So the plan is to read my little book there, enjoying the sun, enjoying the roses, enjoying the scents, and enjoying these beautiful early June days, because these are my favorites. Like summer sometimes can be so incredibly tough in Boston because it's so hot and humid, but June is probably my favorite.
Talk to me, show me all that hurts you deep. Soak my shirt in all I can talk with you. Breathe to me. Tell the things that haunt.
Okay. Oh yeah, you have very nice noses.
Set the brush.
Yes, yes. Oh. You're the cutest. You're the cutest.
The gravel spikes your feet.
I have been obsessed with diamond paintings lately, and instead of doing a painting, I decided to do coasters because I don't have any. And I don't know if this was a good idea or not. I mean, I think that they look beautiful. I pat myself on the back. I did a good job, if I may say so. This one was tricky. Look at the roses. So pretty. Tulips, and also that one, I don't know what kind of flower that is, but I really like the colors. And this is the last one that I have, and after this one I'm actually like done with the coasters, and I decided to next do bookmarks, and I ordered 4 like really pretty bookmarks. It's almost like they have my name written on them, and also they come with these like butterfly charms, and I have to assemble them, and I'm just like not sure that I did a good job, but whatever. Once the beads are on, I have to put the charm here, not that one, this one, the one that I already assembled, and then the bookmark is done, and it's just like so pretty. I am obsessed with this thing. Next, I'm gonna do some custom diamond painting. The only thing though, I don't really know what to do with the beads, because these are the beads that are for the coasters, and they're not good for the bookmarks. So I have like a completely new set of beads for the bookmarks, but I will keep them, and then maybe I just try to use them up somehow. But how cool is this? This is my newest obsession.
Spikes your feet.
Can you guys see that? That's parsley. Yes. So excited it's happening. I haven't been able to grow parsley for like years now, especially not this kind. So I'm super happy about that.
And I'm happy, guys, for a reason, because I have been trying to grow at least herbs in my Boston apartment for years now, and this is the first time, this is the first year that something actually sprouts, and it just makes me so happy because I really like plants and I really like gardening. And back in Sydney I had a tiny garden. It was not in the backyard or the front yard, it was on my balcony, but my balcony in my Sydney apartment was so big, it was bigger than my current bedroom. Okay, so I was able to grow things there, herbs and flowers, tulips and hyacinths, and I had a mini Hawaiian rose tree. Oh my god, and chili peppers and tomatoes. I was able to grow all those things. And the cockatoos, if I find some pictures, I will probably include it here for you guys to see, but the cockatoos loved them. They destroyed some of my plants. Okay, but anyways, now that the memories are coming back, I'm like getting a little bit homesick, so I will just stop talking about my Sydney garden, and I will be just happy with the little Boston garden that I have here going on. I've been considering actually to get one of those hydroponic, I think that's the name, hydroponic gardens. And I know that there are all different sizes, and I looked at the biggest one, which is like, oh my god, so expensive, so I'm not sure that I'm gonna get one, but I want to get at least a small one for my birthday. So it's something that I'm considering. If you guys have any experience with that, could you please let me know, because I feel tempted to get one of those things. I really like plants. I have a lot of house plants, and they are fine, they are thriving, everything is okay. It's more like garden stuff that I cannot really grow. And I tell you guys this all the time, but when I have my own house one day, there are 2 things I want to have: a garden and a library, and that's all. That's all that I need. And maybe a couple of dogs and cats and I don't know, like a couple of animals. And then I'm good. Anyways, but for now, I am just super happy that finally some of my herbs sprouted, and I just wanted to document this. in one of my vlogs. There you go. You're welcome.
Houston, we have a problem. Houston, I fucking hated this book. Okay? I finally finished it after like what? 2 weeks? I finally got that. Oh my god, this was a chore to get through. I will explain everything to you guys probably in the next clip, because I do have one or two good things to say about this book, but it, like, objectively speaking, this is a 1-star book. And I gotta be honest, I thought that this book was gonna be something that it wasn't, and that's totally on me. That's not the book's fault. I thought that this book was gonna be about space exploration and the space shuttle program, and specifically the 1986 or the space shuttle, what was the name? Challenger disaster and explosion and whatever. I thought that our main character is actually, like, you know, the teacher, the civilian that they chose to go up with them in 1986. And I have no idea why I thought this, okay? Nobody told me this. This was not in the book, the back of the book, in the author's note, whatever. Not at all. So this is completely on me. And also it says clearly on the cover that this is a love story. And I, for some reason, just did not register that in my mind. Okay? So for this, I am not blaming the book. I didn't get what I expected, but again, that's on me. But holy chickpeas in the hummus. This was a chore. And I personally had never read a Taylor Jenkins Reid book before that was a chore. I thought I would never get through this book.
Well, you guys, I think it's finally time for us to sit down and discuss atmosphere, because as you've all seen in the previous clip, I finished this book and I have a couple of things to say. Unfortunately, this book didn't work out for me, which makes me very disappointed, because it was one of my most anticipated releases for 2025. But, you know, it's just, it happens. Sometimes it just happens. It's okay. Well, at least that's what I say to myself. I have to justify this $30 plus taxes and all that jazz, so yeah. Anyways, first I want to tell you a couple of things about the plot before I go on and share my thoughts about this book with you guys. This book takes place in the 1980s. We start out in 81, I believe, and then we will end in like 84 or something around that timeline. And the backdrop of this book is NASA's space shuttle program. And I do want to emphasize the word backdrop, because I feel that it's very important to point that out. Anyways, and our main character is Joanne Goodwill, and Joanne, I feel like that overall as a character she was very likable. She had a very chill out life. She was a professor of physics and astronomy at a university, and she always had a fascination with space. She always liked space. That's why she became a professor of astronomy and physics. Anyways, and she is one of the first women who are allowed to enter NASA's space program. And again, I just want to emphasize this, that this character in this book was one of the first women who was allowed to enter the NASA space program. And one thing that I want to point out, but this is also something that I mentioned in the previous clip, is that this book says on the cover that this is Atmosphere, a love story. But I was convinced, especially like in the first couple of chapters, that this love story would be between Joanne's character and space science, astronomy. Basically, that's what I thought, because especially in the first couple of chapters, Joanne is kind of described as an asexual character. At least that's how I read into it, because she says herself that she is not very interested in romance, and how, you know, especially at the time, her family and friends didn't really understand that she was not interested in romance. She was also very interested in her work. But then it's not true. This book actually turns into a sapphic romance and a sapphic love story. And through this relationship, this book turned into a romance. And I want to say, because I want to give you like a percentage, I want to say that this book was like 90% romance, and then the other 10% was the plot. And that's not what I wanted, because I felt like there were so many things to talk about in this book, but there was no science, no NASA space shuttle program, no women in science. Like, this lady is supposed to be one of the first astronauts in the NASA space program, and we didn't really deal with that. And again, no science, no special commentary in the book throughout, but I will talk about a commentary just a little bit later. Just the romance. And I didn't enjoy that, because that's not what I expected from the book. And I just want people out there who do pick up this book to know that you will get a lot of romance and no science at all, basically. And I also want to say that the pacing. Oh my god, I wish I had some spacing in this book. The pacing of this book was very off as well. The beginning started out so great. The first couple of chapters, I was like, I cannot put this book down. And then it was a bore fest. I found myself thinking, should I skip the next 50 page when I was in the middle of the book, because I felt like that nothing was happening. Romance was happening, and there is nothing wrong with romance, but again, that's not why I picked up this book. And then the ending was also super rushed. It was just not working out. And this is why, because it was boring and because the pacing was so off, that's why this book took me a little bit more than 2 weeks to read, and that is not normal. And considering that I am already not really doing really great with reading this summer, well, this book definitely didn't help. And now, despite this book being a romance, the author did have a certain level of commentary about women, again, in the space program that was at a time very male dominated, and also discriminating people at the workplace when they belonged to the LGBTQ community, and how problematic it was. It didn't matter what was your education and how talented you were, somebody else got the job because they just discriminated against you like so heavily. But I felt like that we didn't go into it. The overall message of the book was like, oh, look how seriously they discriminated were, and that's okay. We mentioned it like for a couple of sentences and then nothing else. We could have gotten into it. Okay, let's talk about STEM. Let's talk about how women are treated in STEM, which is still, it's a very male dominated place. You want to talk about discrimination of women and discrimination of the LGBTQ community, fantastic, but let's go into it. Like, if you mention it, don't just mention it, but give us more, show us more, and also tell us more about being the first, and not just being the first, but being the first female astronauts, because these women were bringing down barriers. And I have read a couple of non-fiction books about the first women in space and the first cosmonaut who actually went to space, and there is so much that you can show us and tell us, and nothing. We did have very complicated family dynamics, and I feel like that when it comes to Taylor Jenkins Reid, she excels with character work and relationships, and specifically family dynamics, and that was like a little part in this book that I in general loved, but I did not necessarily like the romance, because to me it was super cheesy, like especially towards the end, the last couple of chapters, how the characters behaved and the certain things they said to each other. And I don't know why it bothered me, because I'm you know what, I'm a queen of cheese. Quite literally, I love cheese. Just give me a piece of brie and I'm all yours. Now, what I appreciated in this book was definitely Joanne's character. I actually really liked her. She was such a balanced and calm and chill person, and she was so focused, and she loved her job, and she worked so hard, and she was so dedicated and loving towards her family. And I in general wanted absolutely the best for Joanne. And I really liked one thing about her character, and I'm not sure that I will be able to like explain it, but she saw her limits and she saw her boundaries in the book. And when she makes one certain decision in the book, actually my heart broke for her, but I was so proud of her because that was the right decision. She was just so smart and just overall a fantastic character. I really liked her. And I also really liked her partner in this book, to be fair. And I liked them like together, but that's all. I didn't like anything else. No science. I don't know why she selected, again, the space shuttle program as a backdrop, because there was no commentary there. And it ultimately didn't work for me. Honestly, if I gave star ratings, which you guys know that I don't do, but if I gave star ratings, this would be a 1-star book. Sorry, but this would be a 1-star book. I expected more from Taylor Jenkins Reid. Now, with this book done, read and dusted, I feel like it is time for us to end this vlog here and to move on to the next adventure. Hit share, like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. I have a lot of fun bookish videos coming up in the summer. I think I will mostly spend my time with vlogging because I have a lot of different books on my TBR, a lot of different reading plans, and also I will be traveling all around New England, and I want to show you these absolutely insanely beautiful places in New England. Are you? Take care of yourself. That is the most important thing, and I will see you guys in an upcoming video. Bye!